So, Michaela, there is a huge myth out there in the real estate industry that teams are only for new agents. We hear that all the time, but in real estate, the only thing tougher than the market right now is trying to do it alone. And some people think there's only one kind of team you can build. There's multiple different types. We're going to talk about it today. So let's get into it.
Yeah, absolutely. One thing's for certain, nobody can succeed in real estate alone. We are in the people business. We need other people. If you want to do something by yourself all day, it's not real estate. You need other people involved. And that's not just your clients. That's the people you have working behind you. Even if you're a solo agent, it is not a solo business. And if you're doing business by yourself, you're probably not making any money.
You know, there's an old saying, I think it's an African proverb, but it says this: if you want to go fast, you go alone. But if you want to go far and you want to survive, you want to have longevity, you go as a group, right? And so we see that in the team atmosphere because let's be real, this market is humbling a lot of agents. And for those of you agents out there, any of you are discouraged, please don't get discouraged. I've been doing this, my wife and I have been selling since the 1900s. There are dips in the market. And this one, I hate to tell you, hopefully this is encouraging. This is the worst one in over 30 years. Since 1995, we have not had this few of sales with this high number of agents. There's less transactions, but more agents. So the pie is getting divided up into smaller and smaller pieces. So please don't get discouraged. It's coming back. Hang in there. And we're going to talk about today some tips and tricks that might help you get over the hump. We're going to talk about the difference between just surviving, but how you can thrive in a marketplace like this. So when the pendulum swings back, you're already ahead of the game. Today, we're going to discuss traditional teams, pros and cons of it, right? We're going to tell you straight up what's good, what's bad, what's ugly about it, but also a thing called non-traditional teams, which I don't think a lot of agents know about.
No, absolutely. And I think you really started out strong and capturing some attention because people really do have this mindset that a team is only for brand new agents. They shy away. They're like, I've been in the business for 20 years. I don't need a team. Maybe you don't need the team that you traditionally think of as a team. That doesn't mean that you don't need a team. So learning about the different options for people, the different ways they can structure the team, traditional versus non-traditional, and the benefits, the pros and cons. And I think another really important thing to realize is that the business isn't stagnant. How you choose to structure your business today is not how you'll be doing your business in 10, 15, 20 years. So if you do opt for a team structure, whether that be traditional or non-traditional, and then it's a stepping stone so you can evolve and shift. You're not backing yourself into a corner where the rest of your business is done with this particular team or with this particular structure. You should always be flexible. And that's a big reason where the agents shift. Like, we are constantly shifting and being flexible. You've got to be able to be willing and able to change your business plan.
And Michaela, you're on a traditional team right now, and I've built traditional teams in the past. I'm not building one right now. I'm building non-traditional team now. So you're going to be able to speak on the traditional side, and then I'm going to be able to talk about the traditional side from the team lead standpoint, but also what a non-traditional one looks like. And here's the great part: you, the agent who's watching this, you're going to get to choose if and what you want to be a part of. But let's talk a little bit, Michaela, about what is a traditional team for agents who are not on one. Maybe they're just independent getting started, what it is, and then talk about some of the good stuff that you can get from it.
Yeah, absolutely. So a traditional team, usually you have that lead agent or maybe one or two lead agents, and they might be your rainmaker, the person who's really great at generating those leads. And they bring in those leads, and then they're going to trickle them down to the team. They might also have support in your marketing systems. They could have some like plug and play systems. They might have scripts. That can be a really great option if maybe your lead generation isn't there. Maybe you just need some support and accountability. If your systems aren't quite into place and you're like, I just don't know where to start. And again, that's not necessarily just for new agents, although it is a really great option for new agents. It's an option for people who they're ready to make a shift in their business, but they don't know, maybe they haven't quite grasped the concept of some of the newer technology, different CRMs. They just want to do something a little bit different. Maybe they're in a new market or they want to target a new market, and this team lead is really good at luxury leads. Let's say if you have no experience in luxury leads, but you've been in real estate for a long time, you're like, that's really something I want to get into. That team could be a great opportunity. They already have the leads, they've already created this reputation, and then they have a support system for you. So even if you're just looking for a pivot in your business, that traditional team structure could be to your benefit. Personally, like our team, we're really small. And so we have all known each other for a little while, and we've kind of developed. We've got our team lead. She's wonderful at generating. She is a rock star on YouTube. She does really, really great YouTube videos. And then we've got somebody who really is great at the admin side of things. And then just a couple of us that are the boots on the ground. And so we keep our team, it's a boutique style, strong team, but we've all leaned into our strengths. We got together, the team was developed together. And we were like, okay, I'm really good at this. I enjoy doing this. I'm really good at this. And so we divided and conquered. And so that's how our team structure is set up.
I love that. And some of the top producing agents and groups in the world are teams that have learned how to fit and work together, like what you're working on down there. Everybody has their seat on the bus, right? Everybody has their expertise. And so coming together, they're able to build something bigger than what maybe agents may not be able to do on their own. One of the things that some people may not like about traditional teams is, look, you may have to set your ego aside a little bit. Where we're at in Ohio, and by the way, Michaela and I are in different parts of the country, and obviously you're going to have to check with your state and your brokerage and your rules as to how teams work in your area. But so we're talking about our experience, and here in Ohio, the team lead or the rainmaker is the one who generates the leads and then hands the leads out. A lot of times what happens is the rainmaker also cherry picks the leads they want. Right? They're going to take the ones that they want and then hand the rest out to the rest of the team. And here in Ohio, when you write your deal, when you write your contract, you're writing it in the team lead's name. It goes into the LLC of the team. So why would I say you have to check your ego a little bit? Because those numbers aren't going to show up under you. The $1 million awards and things like that come, you're not going to see those. And again, that's just an ego thing. So agents may or may not like that. You're going to be writing the deals in the team's name. And also, though, if you don't have a brand yourself already, sometimes being able to brand yourself with the team is a good thing. Other teams I know run very strict things. We have a team here in Columbus where they have a night where you're in making cold calls, and maybe you're not into doing that sort of thing, right? But that's the requirement if you're going to be on their team. They have certain requirements for continuing education, things like that. If you're going to be a part of the team, you're going to follow the rules. So it's a little bit more like a real estate job, I guess, if you will, because the team lead is going to be the boss, so to speak. So I see that as a pro and a con. It can help you develop good prospecting skills and things like that. Here's what I would tell you. If you're looking at doing traditional teams, interview several. Interview several inside your brokerage and talk to them, and maybe let them see if they'll let you talk to the other people on the team. How many leads are they getting? Are the leads good? Are they crap leads, right? Let's find out what they have, because the last thing you want is being overpromised and underdelivered. And let's face it, not every agent, not every brokerage, and not every team lead out there, how do I say this politely? Not all of them have your best interests in mind. They might be looking for their own best interests. And Michaela's found a great one that she's a part of. And I'd like to think that when Stacy and I ran ours, we ran a great one too. So interview several and go in with your questions. If you don't have your questions set up, Michaela and I can put some good questions for you on a Word doc and attach it underneath here into the podcast that you can take in with you and then add your own to it. You need to see the ICA up front, independent contractor agreement, right? You got one when you joined your brokerage, but you also need to have one with your team lead. How the leads are going to be handled when you leave. What's going to happen if you have deals in contract when you're trying to leave and go back out on your own? Because eventually, let's face it, you're going to learn everything you can from the team lead. And usually you're going to be in a mode where you're going to go out and either build your own team or just go back out and be a solo agent. So you need to have all that spelled out in writing. The last thing you want to do is have a professional relationship ruined because you didn't have everything spelled out. That's what I always say is good business partnerships require great paperwork. And you got to have that, and make sure you have that, and make sure you have a copy of it and have everything spelled out to the letter. I think I covered that, didn't I, Michaela? We should probably talk a little bit about what's this non-traditional team thing? Because people are like, wait, what's a non-traditional team?
Just one more thing I wanted to add, because you took the words out of my mouth as far as interviewing the team. Like, that is somebody you're going to be doing business and hopefully growing your business with. And it's a great networking opportunity. Again, a team doesn't have to be forever. You're not set in stone. One thing we didn't hit on is the splits. And that can be a hang up for some people. They're like, I'm not willing to split that much of my commission. And so that's something you really have to get a good understanding of, whether it's a personal lead that you're bringing, but still doing it under the team, whether it's a team lead, and just really understanding what those commission splits look like for your business as a whole. If you are getting 3 times as much business from this team and you are just rocking it, then maybe the commission splits isn't going to affect your business long term. But that's something you really have to understand. What do these commission splits look like? How is it going to affect my long term business? Because typically with the team, they're going to want to cut. They're bringing in the leads. So it is that collaborative effort. They're bringing in the leads. So they are going to have an additional portion beyond what your brokerage takes. But, we're with EXP. So an advantage, depending on how the team is structured, is you can cap earlier. If, like, for example, EXP, you have that 80-20 until you cap at 16,000, and we can go into more of that later. We have a reduced cap. Again, this depends on the team structure, but you can cap at 8,000. So that means you're keeping more of your money to the bottom line.
Again, what I always tell agents is, look, if you're not good at lead generating, 100% of zero is what? Zero. It doesn't matter, right? If you're not good at generating leads, it doesn't matter if you're getting 100% if you don't have any deals, right? So if you're trying to get started and kick started, or you've hit a rut, take a look at a traditional team where they've got good leads, they've got a fair split, and they can get you up and running and teach you some maybe back to basic tools you need so you can get out on your own, and also learn everything you can inside that team so you can possibly go out and build your own in the future. I love it. So we're going to talk a little bit now about, did you want to add anything else, Michaela, before we go into non-traditional?
Non-traditional.
So non-traditional teams, people have heard about, because it's been around a long time, the traditional team, but what is the non-traditional team? The non-traditional team, especially at the brokerage that Michaela and I are at, you can check us out. You can hit us up if you want to know where we're at right now. But, they look very different, because instead of a top-down leadership type model where one person's the boss, right? The team lead is the boss of it. It's more built around collaboration and sharing of the revenue. So you're in business for yourself, but you're not by yourself. You get the mentorship, the training, masterminds, and community, but you're not locked into one set commission split. The way Stacy and I are running ours now is, when we ran a traditional team, it was very much like a job. Being the team lead, we always had to be in the office. We likened it to adult babysitting a little bit, right? Because you got these agents underneath you that always have problems. We were responsible for them. They were on our team. And when, after the recession of 2008, when we came out of it, we were doing the numbers, and we said, look, we're getting far in our career where we want to start vacationing more and doing things like that. We don't want to always be in the office. So we wanted to build a non-traditional team. A non-traditional team is where we still built an organization. We still had that group. We still had that camaraderie. We still had the ability to leverage and scale our business, but yet we weren't putting our hands in the pockets of our agents. Now, my wife says, nobody knows what that means. I go, look, every Italian knows what that means, right? It's the mafia type deal, like you're wetting your beak on everybody else's deal. We wanted to set up something where we weren't taking money from our agents where they were out there doing the work, but we were still responsible to them, but not responsible for them. The difference being, we're there for them when they need us. We still do the mentoring, the training, the guidance, and we still hand out leads. But instead of taking money off of their self-gen stuff, we only have set up front. Here's a lead. Here's John and Mary who want to write up 123 Main Street. We're taking a 50-50 split. Who wants it? And we have a group of like-minded agents who are in our brokerage, who are independent contractors. They're building their own brand and their own name, but we have leads. Like when we're in St. Croix, we leave in 6 days. For St. John, actually, we're going to be down in the Caribbean. We want to be able to hand out those leads, but yet still get a referral fee on them, right? Because it's our business. We're still the rainmaker, but yet our agents that work with us know how to go out and fend for themselves. See, we believe in this. You give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. Michaela, if you teach a man or a woman to fish, you feed them for how long?
They're good.
For their life, right? And so that's the non-traditional team format. We're still a group of like-minded, collaborating agents, but yet those agents are going out and building their own brand, their own business. The sales are in their own name. And then when Stacy and I have overflow leads that we're either not here to handle or that we need to spread out because we've been doing this for so long, we're good at rainmaking, we hand them out to those agents that want them on a case-by-case basis. And it's a completely different format, but still incredible because we're compensated through the business structure of our company. It's a completely different type of model. So I'm not getting paid off an agent. Say Michaela and I are partnered together. When she goes and sells her sister's house, I don't even know if you have a sister, Michaela, but you might. But when she goes and sells a house, I'm not taking money off of Michaela just because she's on my traditional team. She keeps that herself. The only time I would be getting money off a deal Michaela did is a lead I specifically sent her, and we negotiated up front the commission amount up front. In fact, when we hand out just a name and a number, we're only taking 25%, right? We're not doing the typical 50.
If you're somebody who's considered being a team lead, these are really just great things to consider in both directions, whether you want to be a traditional team lead or a non-traditional team lead. I think something that's great within our brokerage is the amount of resources you have no matter which direction you go, because I have in my network other people who are team leads, maybe in different brokerages, and they do feel like they're babysitting all the time, like they are overwhelmed. They're like, this is an extra full-time job. It's almost more challenging than when I was just taking all the leads myself. So really learning how to delegate those tasks, and we can go on about all the resources we have available, but the training, especially for those non-traditional teams, you can point them in the right direction if they just want some additional training, but they don't want to be in that team structure and have a commission being pulled from every sale. Then being able to just point them to some of the training and the resources that we have, so you're still providing that support, because at the end of the day, no matter which direction you choose to go, it's about that collaboration, it's about that team mentality and supporting each other however we can.
You got that right. We had a young woman on our team that had a deal that she had never done. It was a family property that had 3 different single family homes on it. It was about a $1.2 million property, but there's not many sales for highest and best use of this property. So she brought me in on the Zoom with her clients. She had never done a deal where you had to reparcel everything and then sell them independently and the proper order to sell them in, right? It was a downsizing situation for a widow. And Stacey and I were happy to jump in and do that. So you still have that team lead benefit of our 30 years experience and things like that helping you, but it's your deal. But Stacey and I also get compensated and rewarded because of the structure of our broker model. Again, we don't have our hands in the pockets of our agent. We're getting paid from corporate to help make that happen. And that's the incredible part about the business structure of our brokerage and the way it works. And so if you'd have more questions on whether you want to build a traditional team or a non-traditional team, or if you'd like to join one or the other, and Michaela, make sure you hit her up. Her calendar link will be down below in the description. Or if you know me, you can hit me up. Michaela and I are working together on this. This is a joint project from opposite sides of the country. She's down where it's super warm and nice. I'm up where it's about ready to get cold here very soon. And we're working together on it. And you'd work together with the both of us.
You get 2 different perspectives and different strengths and weaknesses. We both have different networks, and don't box yourself in. Don't feel like you're trapped. These are just different opportunities, and really just being able to see the different opportunities and deciding which one makes the most sense for you. And maybe not making a change in your business is good today, and tomorrow it's like, hey, I've got to do something a little bit different. And so just knowing what is available to you. And we're happy to answer any other questions you might have.
The last thing I wanted to bring up, Michaela, is if you're an agent who's like, okay, I don't want to join a team, but I'd like to be a team lead and build my own. Well, here's what I can tell you from building them back in the past, building mega teams. You don't want to do it hit or miss. You definitely want a structure to do it, because a lot of teams fail because what they don't understand is you have to run it like a business. And the problem with most agents is we're really good with selling houses. We're really good being a solo agent. But when it comes to building a team, there's other things in there. Like, how do you attract and train the people? Well, with brokerages like ours, we literally have a blueprint, a 32-week blueprint of who to look for, who to attract, who to bring on, which seats to fill first, and how to build it. And then the training in place for the agents that come into your traditional team. We have that. That's at no cost. You come to our brokerage and you will learn not from people teaching theory. You'll learn from agents who are running the biggest teams in the world. I noticed the other day, Michaela, our top 250 teams and agents in our company are outselling over half of the brokerages that are out there, just our top 250 teams out of our 90,000 that are out there. So they know what they're doing, and you can literally model your team after them, the most successful teams in the world, and we'll teach you how to do it step by step on how to do it. So maybe you're a team builder and you're thinking about that. Come see us and talk to us. We'll show you everything we have and see if it's the right fit for you.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Jim. I think that was great. Our contact information will be below, and reach out with any questions.
Yeah, thanks for jumping on. We'll see you.